Hi guys, how are you? Hope everything is going good. Hello with you. Welcome to your course. This time we're gonna start the real business of Nmap. So we're gonna use the first command, or the first option will be, of course, we're gonna call the Nmap. Nmap is network mapper, mapper by the way. And we're gonna use the S and the T, and for me, I know that this is my gateway's IP address. This one in here. I will show you how to find it for you guys. So just type root, and this is your gateway IP address. You don't need to try to scan your gateway IP address. Just write down any IP address you want to scan and find some course in. And we're gonna paste it. So in this command, guys, we are trying to see which it's a very simple command in which we are testing a TCP connection. So what's a TCP is? TCP is an abbreviation for the transmission TCP control protocol. It's just like the transmission control protocol, which means it's protocol that controls the data that is getting in and out of your PC. It's just simply like that. There are two famous protocols that do this same way, which is the same thing, which is the thing that I've told you about, receiving and sending data. They are mostly the famous two ones, which are, of course, the TCP and UDP. So the difference between them is that in the TCP the data are checked. For example, if we say that there is two IP addresses, for example, this IP address and this IP address. I'm just giving examples. This IP address don't have any relation with this IP address. Yeah. So if this IP address, or the computer in here, or any machine in here, any device or any system, or you get the meaning, try to send anything to this IP address in here, so it will be like that. This one will send the information to this one. Then this one will tell him if he received the information completely or correctly or not. So that's TCP IP. That's the TCP packet. It will be a TCP packet. He is not sending bits. He is sending tons of bits, which are the packets. A lot of information, a lot of data. Regrouped or something like that. It's called packet. So he's sending a packet to this IP address, and this IP address replies, yeah, I have received all the packet or not. That's it. But in the UDP there is nothing like that. So this one is sending data to this one, and this one is receiving data and process it. So the difference between them, the TCP IP is most used because it has this ability, but the UDP will be used in case of you don't want to lose time. So if you are playing for receiving all the data, so you should use the TCP. But if you are playing for time, use the UDP. And the UDP is mostly used on, for example, in live streaming. For example, if you are on live streaming, you don't want to lose time, of course, because if you started to lose some time, you want to be live. Yes, that's it. You want to be live. It's be live. I don't mean that believe. you don't be in live mode, like that. But that's if you use the TCP, because you are always checking, you are always sending that. For example, if this one sends something to this one and this one didn't receive it completely, it will tell him send me back. Then this one will send him back the data. So we'll lose some time in here. But if you want to stay in live mode, you should receive the data like it is and show it. For example, if we are talking about live streaming, and show it to the user, even if there is some corruption on the data. And in games also, it will be the same thing, because gamers don't want to lose some time, and they can be killed if they are playing Counter-Strike. I'm just giving you examples, guys. But if you want to be sure that your data is completely received, like in the download, if you are downloading something, you are using the TCP. You will use the TCP. Sorry guys if I have took a lot of time on explaining this thing, but I think it's very important to explain. So we start this sample scan and we had this result in here. So we have some port. So we will read everything. Starting Nmap is the version of Nmap. This is the website of Nmap at this time in here. So Nmap scan report for the IP address that we have given. So it gives us a report. So host is up, which means there is actually a computer or a device on this host. There is a system on this host. Not shown. So those are the closed ports. So we don't want to see the closed ports. They are not shown. So if we have seen like 994 lines of ports closed, so there is no meaning to see some ports closed. So, and this will be kind of table, in which in this part in here we got a ports, their state, and the service. So the first port will be the SSH port, which is the secure shell port. It is completely open. But the 111 TCP, of course, we are making a TCP scan like I have said before. It is filtered, which means that there is a firewall who is blocking the connection. This is the RPC bind, the name of the service, and 143 TCP. It's filtered also. The IMAP, the SMAX, the H. I don't know what's this port. There are a lot of ports. Of course, it's above than 65,000 ports. This is the 5,900 port, TCP port, of course, which is for the VNC. This is a famous port. This port in here, it is like we have said, filtered. So this was a sample TCP scan using the command st, simply like that. You can find this command in here. If you try to write nmap to see the options that you have, you will find it like in here. So this is the st command, this one in here, which comes from connect. So we are trying to connect to a TCP port actually. So this was the first lesson of the Nmap. You have learned, I guess, some things. So guys, see you in the next lecture, and peace.